A dog can swim at 3 km per hour and run at 15 km per hour. It is dinner time and the dog wants to take the fastest route home for dinner from offshore. So here is the dog somewhere out there swimming, and then here is the house. And this dog is to swim to a point somewhere on the shore and then run from here to there to the house. So what angle will give this dog the shortest distance required to travel from one point to another? We are trying to minimize time. They give us speed. And they are talking about time. Knowing how we have distance in this case, we can probably use speed, distance, and time to set up a function for differentiation. Knowing how velocity equals distance over time, if we are trying to come up with time, we need distance over speed. There are two legs in this case. First leg happened in the sea. We don't know the distance traveled by the dog at this time. So we're going to use some variables to help us out. Let me consider this as x. And on the other side, I will consider that as 10 minus x. With 6 km on one side and x on the other side, the distance traveled by the dog would then be this, using the Pythagorean theorem. And knowing how this dog can swim 3 km per hour, the time required for the dog to swim from offshore to the point somewhere on the shore would then be distance over speed. That's the first leg, swimming. Second leg, it is the distance from one point to another. The distance that requires to run from one point to another is 10 minus x. And this dog can run at 15 km per hour. We are going to differentiate this function with respect to x. So here, differentiate this. Now we require the use of chain rule. Knowing how we have a 1/3 as a constant, let me take it out as a constant. And then I will differentiate the square root, which involves 1/2 36 plus x squared negative 1/2 for the exponent. And don't forget your chain rule. Plus, we got another constant here. It is 1/15. And then as we are to differentiate 10 minus x, in this case we will just end up with -1. To minimize the time travel, we need the critical point. So we are solving this for x. Rearranging the term, deal with the negative exponent. At the end, we will end up with x over 3 here, 36 plus x squared minus 1/15. And after you solve for x, rearranging the term, I'll let you to figure it out. you should end up with x equals root 6 over 2. And that means if I have root 6 over 2 for this line, if this is root 6 over 2, and if this is 6 km, I can now calculate this angle here using tangent, opposite over adjacent. And using your calculator, taking inverse 10, you should end up with 11.5 degrees.